I must say this, I am truly proud of Team Kenya. And I want to say, we gather here this morning in Eldoret, the City of Champions, as we call it, united in celebration of the heroes and heroines of the Paris 2024 Olympics as they return back home to Kenya, the veritable land of champions. When I commissioned this team a few weeks ago, Team Kenya, to go and represent our country at the Paris 2024 Summer Olympics, I reminded you that you were both our best and the world's finest athletes. Today, I am extremely happy, delighted to welcome you back from your successful mission in Paris. You undertook the calling and understood the burden of shouldering our collective aspirations and dreams as a nation on the global stage. And I say, you did not disappoint. In Paris, our athletes once again demonstrated to the world that when it comes to endurance, determination, and the unshakable will to succeed, we are at the top of our continent and can match the best anywhere in the world. Just imagine, we became position number 17 out of close to 200 countries participating. And as if that's not enough, we became country number 2 in the whole world in athletics. As has been said here, there are countries who celebrate just to qualify. Yes, and I'm told number 1 is a huge country called the United States, which is almost a continent. Leading this remarkable feat were our golden stars. And you know them. Beatrice Jebet here. Tumpige makofi huyu mrembo jamani. Who not only conquered the 5,000, but also brought home gold in the 10,000 meters, marking her place as a true queen of middle distance running. And of course, Faith, the one and only, Kipyegon, who continues to rewrite history with her 3rd consecutive back-to-back, as she says in her own words, Faith, the one and only, Kipyegon, who continues to rewrite history with her 3rd consecutive back-to-back, as she says in her own words, Olympic gold in 1,500 meters and a silver in 5,000. And we all have a rough estimate of why that 5,000 went the way it did. Yeah? And of course we have Emmanuel Wanyonyi, who brought home gold in 800 meters, a victory that cements his status as a rising star in Kenyan athletics. And when I had a chat with him this morning, he just graduated, as the president of Athletics Kenya said, from the juniors, now to the real game. And he has a bright future, as we all can see. Let me also celebrate brought home bronze in the women's and men's marathons, respectively, reminding us that even in the face of challenges, our athletes never lose sight of the finish line and will fight for glory to the tape. We saw them, and sometimes we never understand the sacrifices that are made, the commitment that is put in place, and the determination over many hours, many days, weeks, months, and years for one to do that final minute dash and win. Congratulations to you all. Your victories are just not medals that you carry. They are symbols of our national character, a testament to what we can achieve when we believe in ourselves. On behalf of every Kenyan, I am profoundly proud of you and grateful to you, Team Kenya, for taking the heart, soul, and spirit of your fellow countrymen to Paris and shining for our motherland. Every time we saw the Kenyan flag, every time the Kenyan national anthem was played, we felt on top of the world. It was quite an emotional moment, and we are very proud to receive you back home. But our pride doesn't end there. As a country, we have set our standards and expectations extremely high when it comes to gold and championships and tournaments. While we acknowledge your impressive performance, we also recognize that our potential remains immense. Our athletics are increasingly under encroachment from countries that have studied, learned, and perfected our skills to our detriment. As a government, at the national and county levels, we must scale up our deliberate collaboration with all stakeholders, such as sports federations, to develop a sports policy framework that will address these gaps and stop what is going on so that we can progress our sports ecosystem to the place where we all want it to be. We all know why we have 4 gold medals. Because the 5th gold medal on steeplechase is missing. Mr. Murkomen. You know, when immediately Kipchumba Murkomen was sworn in, I put him on the next plane, and I told him to go to Paris. And I am very confident that under your leadership, understanding very well, having learned in a school where sports, in Iten where sports was a big thing, I'm very confident that you're going to lead this ministry into where the sports fraternity wanted to be. As we honor these heroes, it is only fitting that we do it here in Eldoret, the city of champions, the newest city in Kenya today. And there couldn't have been a better celebration of Eldoret city than to do it with this champion. For it is from these very highlands that many of our great athletes have been nurtured. Elevating Eldoret to city status is not just a recognition of its past. It is a bold statement about our present and a major statement about our future. Eldoret City is not just a title. It is a brand that resonates with excellence. It represents the journey of a young athlete who, with nothing but a dream and a pair of running shoes and the support of a community, can rise to become an Olympic champion. It is here in Eldoret that the heart of Kenya's athletic success beats strongest. And it is here that we reaffirm our commitment to nurturing the next generation of champions. As we celebrate both our Olympic champions and the birth of the City of Champions, let us remember that we are all part of this incredible journey. Together, we will continue to soar to new heights, for Kenya is and always will be the land of champions. This morning is a great morning, ladies and gentlemen, as I receive Beatrice, Faith, Emmanuel, Kwemoy, Obiri, and all the good people. These people are great Kenyans. It is not always that on a global stage, a country is celebrated. It reminds us as a country what we can achieve together. I want to persuade us as Kenyans to celebrate our successes. We are a great nation. I know we set standards, very high standards for ourselves, but I also want to dare say that even as we set standards very high for ourselves, let us remember to celebrate our achievements. Let us remember to celebrate our success. It is not always that you become number one in Africa. It is not always that you become number two globally in athletics. It is a major feat. Even as we criticize ourselves, we must remember to celebrate our success so that we don't judge ourselves too harshly and sometimes bring down the spirits of the men and women who do their best, go out of their way, make sacrifices to make our country great. In our midst, we have great men and women. We have Kipchoge Keino here, a legend. Huyu mzee tumpigie makofi jameni. Can we celebrate Kipchoge Keino? Wapi nduru ya huyu mzee jameni, Kipchoge Keino. You know? We have always known Kipchoge Keino. In fact, many people think he is in the league of Vasco da Gama. Because he's part of our history. He's part of what we learned as we grew up. The fact that he's still here in our midst is a great testament of what sports can do to a person. Congratulations, Mzee. And we will continue to celebrate you. We have great sportsmen. Just seated next to him is a great medalist, gold medalist. Yeah? Ezekiel Kemboi. Mpige makofi Ezekiel. You know? At one point he was called Babayao of sports. Yeah? And of course we have the great man who is now the president of our NOC. You know? Paul Tergat. Pigeni makofi. And we have many. And what do I say? You know, about the man who tells us, no man is unlimited. Eliud Kipchoge. Yeah? Eliud is a great legend, you know, and I know how people were disappointed. You know, many people, you know, made all manner of comments. How can Eliud not finish? You know? But Eliud, we celebrate you. You have held our flag high. You are a great Kenyan. You are a great legend. And many of the other athletes, please, people, let us celebrate these men and women. Let us criticize them less. They do a lot. They go out of their way. They make sacrifices to make our flag be flown in capitals around the world. Right? Tafadhali, you know, I know we set for ourselves very high standards, but we must be careful to know that when we are successful, we must remind ourselves to thank God and to celebrate and to appreciate. So I am very happy this morning, really, that these great men and women have brought success to us. They have brought glory to our country. We are celebrating here, and we should never, ever take for granted You saw the kind of celebration in Botswana for 1 gold medal. 1. We have 4. Huh? You know? And if you read some places, people are criticizing, oh, you know, our team did not do very well. I don't know what. I don't know what they would do if there are many countries who went with large teams to Olympics. They never got a single medal. You know? Out of the 8 gold medals in the Olympics that came to Africa, 4 came to Kenya. Situpigie makofi hawa wangwana jameni. Tuwapigie makofi. This is a wonderful, wonderful moment for us. And that is the reason why continuously, it is the reason why we establish the sports fund. It is the reason why I gave firm instructions in 2022 that the sports fund will be used for nothing else other than sports. There was an attempt to spread that money to other areas, to do many other things, to do many other interventions. I have given firm instructions to Waziri, you will get it in your office, that sports fund is for our sportsmen and women, to promote sports infrastructure, to promote our sports support for our sportsmen and women, to make sure that we recognize them, we keep them well, we treat them well, and we make sure that they succeed, because they are our greatest ambassadors for our nation. As I said, many people will visit Kenya because of what they see in our sportsmen and women. Many people will come to Kenya because of the brand of our country that we have elevated. And we must continue to elevate brand Kenya in every way that is possible. I wish every Kenyan can make a contribution as small as it is or as big as they can to make Kenya that brand that the world wants to look up to. And we cannot brand Kenya by doing negative things. We can only brand Kenya by doing the things that the world can celebrate about us. And I am very proud this morning, almost emotional, that these sportsmen and women are making our country great. Look at Beatrice. You know, with her small body. You know? And she has made the whole world to stop and play the Kenyan flag. Can we celebrate this girl? Really? This girl, Faith, has done it countless times. You know, it is not always that a person, in fact, you will give me the statistics, General Tuwe, whether there is another human being who has done one gold consecutively in 3 Olympics. It is very rare. You know? So, Faith, we celebrate you. You know, you are a great Kenyan, and we appreciate what you're doing. Look at this Emmanuel guy. Very young guy. He just, how old is he now? 20. You know? This guy, you know, now, in his debut, the first time he participates in an Olympics, and he wins gold. This is the correct brand of what we expect of people. Mpigeni makofi jameni. You know, these are the great Kenyans. Thank you very much, Emmanuel. You can take your seat. You know, look at Faith, the last born of our team, right there. You know, with a great future ahead of her. You know, let us celebrate these good people. And the senior athletes, those of you who have gone ahead of these younger ones, please provide mentorship, you know, work with them, train them, and the Ministry of Sports, because we already have made the policy position known that apart from the sport infrastructure that we have put in place for all our sports, we need to expand and diversify our sports so that when we go to Olympics, we can get more talents rewarded. We can get more young people participating in different sports, being part of this great celebration. Waziri, you are aware, we already are focused on another 25 sports academies around Kenya. I expect that after the designs have been completed, I already gave instructions on the designs to be done by the School of Tibet with other professionals, so that we make sure that we nurture talent from youth, from the bottom going up. The reason why we are expanding our sports academy to 25 different places in Kenya is so that, like the way, you know, Wanyonyi has come through, Faith has come through, Beatrice, from the juniors, that is where we need to build more talent. Even in our football and all the other sports, we must begin to build it from the bottom so that we can harvest and harness as much talent that is out there as possible and provide the infrastructure for training. It has been said here by Paul Tergat that sports is becoming very technical. We need a lot of technical expertise. We need a lot of training. We need science. We need a lot of understanding around it. And Kenya being the country that is foremost in our continent, we must actualize, internalize, conceptualize, and bring it to be in our country so that our talent can be nurtured. You know? You remember this good man who used YouTube. This Julius guy who went to YouTube because there was nobody to train him on javelin and all this. So he decided, okay, wacha niende huko kwa internet nijipange. So today, he just came back from the Olympics. And he was almost there, mpigeni makofi. And so are the other athletes. I celebrate all of you. We will make sure that we give you due recognition and the sacrifices you make. We will, to the extent possible as government, try to recognize and reward those efforts that you're making. I have given very clear instructions to the ministry on the kind of reward system, you know, Waziri, on how, so that, you know, more young people can understand that there is something in sports and the sports can be a career. And let me also say this, that we have a whole commercial business around these sports. You know, our business people are sleeping on the job. They are sleeping in business. You know, how can people be looking for Kenyan sports wear and sports gear in Paris and there is nobody to sell? You know, what are you doing? Here in Kenya, kelele tu, tunapigiana kelele hapa. Watu wangekuwa huko Paris wakiuza vitu huko. So I want to encourage more business people, more enterprises, more companies to commercialize our sports, put in the money for us to have that brand that is Kenyan and a brand that will earn more money for our sportsmen and women. I am looking forward to expanding the sports infrastructure. And I want to encourage not just government, but even the private sector. I know, for example, that around this region, there are facilities funded by different people. Those facilities should be taken to the next level so that we can have more young people access training, you know, sports gear facilities, assistance, mentorship, as we deal with the menace of doping. We must deal with it firmly, decisively, so that it doesn't undermine our great talent as a country. I have spoken more than I should. But it's because I am truly proud of this team. And thank you very much for doing this for Kenya. Thank you very much for coming this morning so that we can together inaugurate Eldoret City, the city of champions, together with you. There couldn't have been a better feat than you participating in this great celebration. So, asanteni sana. I wish you well. I don't know, you're going to have breakfast. I know we are running short of time because the other event is